A new potential buyer has emerged for Tata Steel's 2 mothballed plants in Lanarkshire, where 270 jobs are going. The international metals firm, Liberty House, has confirmed to the BBC that it is interested in acquiring the Dalzell and Clydebridge works. In October, Tata announced 1,200 job losses across the UK. A possible deal with Greybull Capital emerged in December, but unions said this would not necessarily guarantee the future of the Scottish plants. The company was said to be in talks to buy the Scunthorpe plant and the Scottish plants, but Steelworkers Union Community told BBC Scotland that Greybull's business plan did not include Dalzell, where 225 jobs are being lost, and the Clydebridge plant where 45 jobs are going. The union suggested that the Scottish plants should be sold off separately from Scunthorpe. Liberty has now told the BBC it has expressed interest in the Scottish businesses to both Tata and Scottish Enterprise. It said discussions were ongoing but nothing had been finalised. Public confirmation of its position comes ahead of a meeting of the Scottish Government's Steel Task Force later. Business Minister Fergus Ewing said, "Liberty House has a proven track record in the UK steel industry, and this is a welcome development in the quest to secure a sustainable future for Scottish steel. I met Liberty management last week to outline the full range of potential support that would be available from the Scottish Government and Scottish Enterprise should it succeed in a buyout. I also emphasised that the Scottish Steel Task Force continues to work constructively to ensure a viable future for the plants, with action being taken forward on energy costs, business rates, procurement, and on environmental issues." He added, to help a new operator restart operations, the Scottish Government has also invested £195,000 in a plan to keep key workers on standby to minimise the time the plants are mothballed and to safeguard full manufacturing capability. The Steel Task Force will meet this morning and reflect on this positive development. Successful future. A spokesman for Community said any interest from credible investors was welcome. This reinforces our strongly held view that the skills of the workforce and the assets at the plants can be competitive and these businesses can have a successful future with the right long-term investment, the spokesman said. Clearly, there is a long way to go from an expression of interest to rebuilding the workforce and restarting production. This is why all stakeholders, particularly Tata Steel and the Scottish Government, need to work together and remain focused on doing all they can to preserve the assets and retain skills, so that another investor can secure jobs and bring back production as soon as practically possible. Labour MSP James Kelly, who is on the Steel Task Force, and is MSP for Clydebridge, said, "My main priority is preserving jobs at Dalzell and Clydebridge, and if selling them as a separate entity would achieve that, then that's something I would support." Tata blamed the cuts on a flood of cheap imports from China, a strong pound and high electricity costs. The decision to close the 2 Tata plants in Scotland effectively ends production at the country's last 2 major steel works. The Dalzell Steel and Iron Works opened in 1872, and Clydebridge in 1887.